Hello everyone, it's C, and welcome to another video about iOS. I have iOS 17.1 Beta 3 on my iPhone XS, and before that I have iOS 17.0.3. I've been using that OS for a past week, and I started using iOS 17.1 Beta 3 just yesterday, and then I started using it today. So for today's follow-up, we're gonna go through what was some new stuff with Apple, and what are the stuff that's going on with the latest iPhones or iOS 17, such as the rebooting and alarm problems. So why don't we get started with that right now? Roll the intro. Okay, so the first thing is if you want to buy a pre-owned iPhone, you should go through this website. It's called it's applesupport.com, and I will leave a link in the description below. But what this is about is you have you basically it basically gives you a guide about buying a used iPhone from websites such as eBay and stuff. He has to check the battery health if its activation locks, and he also has to inspect the iPhone. If you buy used iPhones like I do sometimes, I recommend you check this website out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Next, there's a new YouTube video from Apple. So there's also a new YouTube video from like a few days ago. So it's called "Study with Me" by Storm Reed. Well, it's actually featuring Storm Reed, but it's also by Apple. Yeah, it has 1 million views and so far, and now you can also you just watch it while you're studying for something while you're studying for school or something. I recommend you check this out. It's also there's some products in there, such as the new M2 15-inch MacBook Air in there. You see that right there. And yeah, I recommend you give that a watch, because if you are studying and you have Apple devices, well, why not check out this one? There's also a new sign in with the iCloud option. So I create a new tab, iCloud. Just tap iCloud and then just sign in, and then you get to see here you can actually sign in with the passkey now, which is something that some people have been using for a really long time, and they've been using on macOS Sonoma and iOS 17. You can just but it requires but if you want to sign in with a passkey, you have to have iOS 17 and macOS or macOS Sonoma. So yeah. Okay, so that is it for what's new with Apple. Now let's get into the problems with iOS 17. So people have been experiencing some iPhone rebooting and alarm problems. So I got scripted right here. So on people's iPhones, they experience some gaps in the charging graph on the settings app. I can show you right here. If there's some gaps like this one, but while it's charging. You can actually see that from this graph right here. But on people's iPhones, they have experienced gaps in the charging graph and the settings app, like I showed you. And like when you set alarm in the morning for your iPhone on your iPhone with iOS 17.0.3, I think that's it. I think that's the thing. And at night it keeps on rebooting whether they are charging or not. I think that might be overheating issues if your phone is charging, or this one might be the most likely thing. So something running in the background on your iPhone that causes it to reboot. So basically that happens to me all the time. So for example, like here I have background activity like for photos. That's when I was asleep, and yeah, that's basically the stuff. And we have these background activities running back on the iPhone in the background while it's charging on a nightstand or something. That's what causes it to crash and then possibly reboot. So that's probably the case of why their phones are rebooting and not be able to hear their alarms. Probably the background apps like the alarm is like it's crashing, and then at the same time that you set the alarm to, and then it probably just reset, and then it probably reset the iPhone. And I think that might cause some major problems. especially for people that has to get to work and rely on their iPhone to wake them up, such as my father. And there's some other major problems with iOS 17. No notifications coming in on time or not coming in at all. Those many bugs are becoming a problem since we've expected iOS 17 to be more stable than iOS 16, but now it's becoming worse than iOS 16, especially for people who own older iPhones like me. So I think the the notifications not coming in on time, it might be the causes of the Wi-Fi issues with iOS 17.0.3. That might be the issue, and I think that might might be the issue of causing the notifications not coming in or not at all. But if you have cellular, I think that might be fine. So speaking of other people's experience with iOS 16 or 17, my brother Ethan Andrew doesn't have any experiences with iOS, have any like bugs or something like with their iPhones with iOS 16. They have iPhone 10Rs, and my dad has an iPhone 11 in red color, and it keeps like as soon as they open. So and keep in mind he's using an iPhone 11 with iOS 16.1.1. That's pretty old OS. I did advise him to update to iOS 17 because his experience might be better. Especially for the apps are actually crashing all the time because those apps might be out not software updated, and they need a new a modern software update to fix that. So I advised my dad to do that. So hopefully he'll get his apps fixed soon. So you might be expecting some new iPads coming out as soon as October this year. So you might expect the new iPad Mini, iPad, or iPad Air. So I would expect that they would mostly get chip updates for better performance and stuff. I think the iPad Mini is gonna have the A16 Bionic chip or A17 Pro chip, and I think the regular iPad is gonna get a new chip like the A15 or A16 Bionic. I think the iPad Air would get an M2 chip, or possibly but if not, then possibly we would get the iPad Air later next year, and then get an M3 chip for So that's what I would expect. We have also, Apple hasn't updated the iPad Air since they haven't updated the iPad Air since March of 2022. So they should probably update the iPad Air sometime soon, and I think they should give it the M3 chip. I think putting the M3 chip into the iPad Air would be a good start for the M3 series devices. Also, Apple, please do something about the design of the iPad, because it's been around since the same year that this iPhone came out. And I think they must do something about the iMac lineup. Just smash an M2 chip in there, please. So as far as iOS releases, I would expect alright, get out of there. So as far as future iOS updates, I would expect the iOS 17.0.4 maybe this week. iOS 17.1 might also be this week, but if iOS 17.0.4 is not coming out, so that might be the case. Because Apple might release the public version of iOS 17.1 at October 24th. That's what the leaks were saying. 9to5Mac on Twitter said that. So next is connectivity with cellular and Wi-Fi. Let me go check. Let me go check it out with the speed test app. I can check my Wi-Fi first because I'm not really using the app. Alright, so I'm gonna check in the speed test app. I want to put it on the Wi-Fi because I have terrible service around here. I have 1 bar of LTE. So let's just press go. Also the Wi-Fi router is downstairs and I'm upstairs, so that might be a problem. I might test this with I'll test this with the Wi-Fi router next to me pretty soon. So I got 43.5 download, and for the upload, 10.3. So that's pretty much fine for me because I'm in this room and the Wi-Fi router is downstairs. But I think that's pretty much fine because we have that Wi-Fi router for almost 3 years now. Next, performance and heat. I have been using Geekbench scores. I've been putting the Geekbench scores to test, and so I have them right here. CPU bench history, like right here. It's very embarrassing. And the 13 Pro is doing better too. So next, I have some very harsh experience with WatchOS 10. So let's see the battery life of my Apple Watch. Oh man, that's sad. I forgot to put on low power mode. Turn on for 3 days. There we go. So one morning without low power mode, when I just got this Apple Watch Series 4, I was at 66%, and that was 2 hours off the charger. Like, can you believe that? That's nuts. And that was a school day, so I needed to charge during community lunch. That's not very good for me. All right. So next is wait, should you install this update like iOS 17.0.3? Hell yes. That's a hell yes for me because it's supposed to help with the overheating issues with the iPhone 15 Pros, especially with the titanium frame, and yes, it's a pretty good update. Well, thank you all so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, tap the like button with your iPhone like a bro, and please hit the subscribe button. It's completely free. And as always, I'll see you friendly people in the next video.